Howdy there, this is Rudy Cowboy, and today we will be going over our second part of my Ultraman Z review for my Ultra-Thon. If you've seen my latest video, I reviewed episodes 1 through 4. Now I will review episodes 5 through 7. Now let's begin with the 5th episode, titled First Juggling. This episode begins where in Antarctica, Pegula emerges from the thick layers of snow. Meanwhile, an artifact is found which consumes the interest of Haruki. Yoko complains about how cold it is outside, and Totally Not Juggler offers some hot tea. Speaking of outside, it's an average day in Japan until a ring of smoke floods the sky, and Pegula emerges from the dark clouds. Pegula lands, roaring as he then begins to freeze building after building. And title card! Pegula walks southwest from Kitagawa-Chos intersection as Storage releases Wyndham, piloted by Yoko, to take out the snow monster. I do like this cool effect in the car where you get to see the POV from its perspective on how it flops from Pegula's snow attack, giving it some realism like a snowstorm. Wyndham confronts the beast, and Pegula does take some slaps from Wyndham, but eventually, Pegula uses his freezing attack as his advantage, and freezes the robot chicken to where it's disabled. Inside of Wyndham, Yoko is dying from the cold. She can't stay in there for too long, or else it's too late. Haruki pulls out the Z-Riser, but Juggler sneaks behind him and steals the Z-Riser for himself. Juggler uses his katana as part of a ritual to duplicate the Z-Riser into a dark Z-Riser. He successfully does so, and the ritual gives him the medals of Zetten, Pandan, and Maga Orochi. Meanwhile, Haruki lies on his knees, desperate and hopeless. Only God can save us now. Or is there someone else who can save us as well? Oh yeah, baby, it's Sevenger time. Sevenger whoops that head and beats on Pegula like a boss. Pegula wants to take it to the air, so Sevenger's like, alright, bet, and knocks Pegula away. Haruki then warms Wyndham up with Sevenger's jetpack, and by flying on his own jetpack, he saves Yoko from freezing to death inside of Wyndham. Pegula fires at Haruki, but Juggler was only trolling Haruki when he stole the Z-Riser, so he deflects the attack and gives Haruki his Z-Riser back. Haruki is angry at Juggler, but he has no choice but to focus on finishing Pegula. Juggler lets Haruki and Zet do their thing as he just walks away. By putting in the medals of Ultraman Zero, Ultra 7, and Ultraman Leo, and chanting the name of Ultraman Zet, Haruki and Zet transform into Ultraman Zet Alpha Edge. Just look at this super fun shot of the air battle. It reminds me of Gamera vs. Iris fight in Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris. Pretty cool. I'll give you a moment to enjoy this shot here because this whole sequence is just so cool. That's pretty litty. Hey, you remember that artifact from earlier? Well, it turns out that it sealed Pegula away, and it's now Zet's weapon. Ultraman Zet finally finishes off Pegula with the newly equipped weapon. But this isn't the end of the episode, as using the medals of Zetan Pandan and Maga Orochi, Totally Not Juggler transforms into a familiar fusion from Ultraman Orb, Zet Pandan. Zet Pandan lands, and the suspense is just there. Zet Pandan and Ultraman Zet have at it, where Zet Pandan just controls the battle, and Zet just falls for every attack. About every attack Zet tries to use is countered. I do like that he tried to sense his enemy in battle when he can't see the enemy, which is a nice nod to the lessons Juggler taught him in episode 2. After Zet's color timer goes off, he does the strongest attack from his Z-Lance arrow, and the effect is just awesome. And whoa, how he waves that arrow is kinda cool too, not gonna lie. Haruki is back safe and sound, and he talks to his captain not knowing his captain is actually trolling him and has been all along. Overall, this episode is extremely fun and could never get boring. Jugless Juggler was great, and that Zet Pandan fight was cool, and I like the Z-Lance arrow. The next episode is called The Man Returns, and I kinda don't have my best opinions on this one. It's a little bit controversial, and for good reasons. It begins with Wyndham and Sevenger test training for battle when there is a disruption over a kaiju drill. It appears that Gillivarus surges towards Earth. This even scares the crap out of Juggler, because he knows what Gillivarus is capable of. Gillivarus is the king of Galactrons, and keep in mind, this is what one Galactron is capable of doing. Gillivarus embarrasses the two units at their own test. Gillivarus nearly even kills Yuka in the battle. So there's no reason why Gillivarus should lose so quickly, even when Ultraman Gene arrives to save the day, no matter what. I don't give a dime if this is Gene's most powerful form. He makes Gillivarus look weaker than he truly is. And Gillivarus shouldn't look this weak because he's the king of Galactrons. Anyways. Gillivarus's heart orbits away And this moment makes Ultraman Gene look really dumb because even every Godzilla fan has at least tried to binge watch Ultraman 1966 and has only made it past episode 3, and even they know that Mani-san would. This is just utterly embarrassing and cringy. And the sad thing is, there's a lot more going on in this episode that's really worth a review. But for this nonsense, I'm just gonna skip this. If you want to check out the full episode, do what floats your boat and go on the playlist in the Ultraman channel. I give this episode a C-. It's insulting to the point I just really can't get over it. The next episode is called His Majesty's Medal. In the beginning, Ultraman Zero is seen turning into Shining Ultraman Zero to escape the realm of Bolton. At storage headquarters, Riku eats some tasty ramen until the whole storage crew is held hostage by some Gillivar slaves. Storage combats them and hunts down for Riku. Celebro orders the slaves to get Riku's DNA to make the Belial metal for a Z-Riser. Juggler saves him and Riku is freed. I do like this part in the sequence where the storage members fight the slaves and Haruki turns into Ultraman Z and Yoko is just dead in love with him, not knowing that it's actually her co-worker. It's kinda cute if you actually think about it. Riku meets with Haruki and Yoko as Celebro then turns into Skull Gomora, using the metals of Ultraman Belial, Gomora, and Red King. Both Riku and Haruki abandon Yoko, and then transform into Ultraman G Galaxy Rising and Ultraman Z Alpha Edge. Let's just appreciate this beautiful, beautiful solo of the two taking on Skull Gomora with no cuts involved whatsoever. Now what this is, it's about almost all of this is CGI besides the suit action. And a lot of this was mocap. They did the suit action outside and then they put in the buildings for special effects. They would just be outside and train over and over and over the choreographing of what would happen in the fights. Then they would go outside, and for this shot in particular, I think they used that stick that it shows that the guy's holding, and he would just basically hold it and just put it over them or under them, and it'd just be all one fluid motion. Now just look at how visually funner this looks in modern Hollywood movies. Anyways, right when you think they could have had enough, Celebro then becomes Thunder Killer, and Thunder Killer provides a tougher match, and then after Thunder Killer beats them up, Celebro makes the difficulty even harder by turning into Pandemian Bezetin and injures them pretty badly with the overwhelming power from the three forms. Their color timers go off, but before Celebro could finish the two, Ultraman Zero arrives.
Zero! 師匠、無事だったんですね。俺の心配するなんざ2万年早い。
If you remember from the beginning of the episode, Ultraman Zero escapes the realm from Bolton. So that leads to this event, as he goes and heads towards Earth. So that's pretty cool. Celebro turns into Skull Gomora, and Ultraman Z turns into Beta Smash, which he then kicks the crap out of Skull Gomora. Zero turns into Strong Corona Zero mode, and he uses his Golnet Buster to blast Skull Gomora. Zed uses his Zestium Uppercut to knock Skull Gomora away. In an air battle, Ultraman G then uses his Galaxy Burst on a then transformed Thunder Killer. Thunder Killer lands, crashing to the ground. As Zet turns back into Alpha Edge, Ultraman Zero turns into Luna Miracle Zero, and with their lances, the two take turns slashing at Pandemium Zeton. And oh boy, Zet freezes it with his Lance Arrow. Before Celebro could let his beast break free, well, I hate to break it to you, together they use their Specium attacks to blow the enemy to ash. And the three fly away in a classic W, while Celebro takes a fat L. Celebro is caught tripping by Juggler, so he blasts Juggler away and flees, as Juggler secretly gets his ID info. Ooh. Yikes. In the end, Haruki finally meets Ultraman Zero, and he says his goodbye to Riku with a very wholesome fist bump, and Riku finally now may head home. Overall, the episode is fun, and overall pretty good. There isn't much to say about it other than it was very enjoyable. Next time we will be reviewing episodes 8 through 10. Until then, I hope you enjoyed the video, and for newcomers, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will see you all later.